They have over $150 million in sales and a 30% average ROI on their development projects. It's two sisters working in the luxury space in Los Angeles.
Our renovations are between like $800 to $1.2 million, almost all completely financed. And then we sell for a profit.
I know when you hear like developer, it's usually like ground up, but I think it kind of feeds into our whole ethos is like the matchmaker thing and homes have sold. We like rescue homes is our thought.
That's really what we give them. Like our houses are really high quality. You can feel it when you walk around and it evokes an emotion that makes people feel excited about the possibility of living there.
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started.
Welcome to the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch. I'm here with my co-host,
Sophia Bosch.
And Sophia, we have an amazing duo today, and I'm so excited for you to meet them. It's two sisters working in the luxury space in Los Angeles. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about them, and then we can welcome them. They're Claire and Sam O'Connor. They're co-founders of O'Connor Estates, a Los Angeles-based real estate and development firm redefining modern luxury through soul, storytelling, and design. They have over $150 million in sales and a 30% average ROI on their development projects. They have turned the business of buying and selling homes into an art of modern, matchmaking is what they call it. They're probably some of LA's most distinctive and design-forward portfolios they bring to market. And they believe that a home isn't for anybody. It's for somebody, for just a specific person. Claire is kind of more like the visionary of the two, and Sam is the head of sales. So with that, Claire, Sam, welcome to the show. So excited to have you here with us.
Hi, thanks for having us. It's so fun to hear about us in such a glowing intro. So thank you.
Yes, it's the badass bio, right?
Yeah, I love that.
You guys are doing amazing things. So all very well deserved. Sophia, do you want to kick us off with the first question?
Yeah. Okay. Well, first, it's great to meet you guys. Before we get into all what is going on in your world right now, I want to begin on where you kind of started off. Like two sisters in business is not very typical. I wonder if about your family. Like, was your family entrepreneurial? How did you guys get started in that? I want to know from the beginning.
Love that.
Interesting question.
It is we haven't actually talked about this very much, so I love that question.
Start
with the day I was born.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So we are 5 years apart. We kind of joke we're born in the Bay Area in California, but Claire went to high school in the Bay Area, and then my family moved to Oregon.
Our family
moved to Oregon. I know. So I say I'm from Oregon. She says she's from California, but then all roads eventually led back to LA. Claire moved here first, and then the rest of the family followed. So that's kind of what got us to LA, but we both had very different paths professionally before being in real estate together. My background was in broadcast journalism. So I worked as a news anchor, news reporter for a local news station in Oregon for 10 years and then moved to LA and then, very long story short, joined forces with Claire. And I'll let Claire tell you about what she used to do.
Well, I used to work in, I used to manage pediatric HIV programs. So I was traveling to sub-Saharan Africa all the time. And when I realized I wanted to have kids, I realized that was not going to be very conducive to parenting, and decided to get into my second love, which was real estate. But I think a little bit of your question is like, sisters working together, how does that go? And definitely when we first started working together, we had our couples therapy.
Yeah, we had couples counseling.
Because there's definitely some growing pains that happened because I was working real estate solo for about 4 years before Sam joined me. And so
Got it.
it's been,
What are the key ingredients that make the partnership work, you think?
I think having had
Therapy.
therapy, yeah, like having had that foundation of communication.
Yeah.
We also say now we share a brain. So I always know pretty much what she's thinking. She knows what I'm thinking. We finish each other's sentences. People tell us that we say the same thing at the same time, which is so embarrassing.
Sometimes we say the same thing like 5 minutes apart
Yeah.
too. So it's
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy.
It's like having an echo. Like we'll say something, and then the other person will walk in and they'll say the same thing, and we're like, "Oh God, it's happening again." We wear the same outfits. We spend way too much time together. We spend our time off. I think another ingredient is that we really like each other. So even when we're not working together, which is all the time because real estate, as you know, is 24/7, we spend our social time together as well.
Yeah, and he's probably
Big social life.
very
Yeah.
complementary skill sets to the table, as well.
Yeah, well, it's actually interesting. We're so similar that then we kind of had to hire out. So I guess that's another like secret weapon, I guess, is that we had to hire people that were a little different to us. Like neither probably shouldn't say this on a podcast, but neither one of us is like super organized. Our clients think we are, but like in our everything's like in our brains. So we had to hire someone to help us with like organization and like things like that. So kind of because we are so similar, we had to find the person to help us with the things we maybe aren't so good at. So kind of like a triple threat in that regard.
Yeah, and now when managing the financial aspects of the business that you now co-own, do you think that there were any early money lessons, maybe that you got from parents or things that you learned along the way that have allowed you to succeed and really, thrive together in this partnership?
So our dad started a company himself. He emigrated here from Ireland a long time ago, and he really took a chance on himself and like really bet on himself. And I think about that a lot in our business because that was what we did as well. And really, like real estate is so speculative. You kind of have to just hope for the best. Like you just jump, and some people have a net and some people don't. But our dad definitely didn't. And I would never say that we come from wealth. Like he had a successful company, but he wasn't like so successful.
Yeah.
But he like made a life for himself. And that was kind of something that we saw growing up. And then with that, when we started this company, we saw opportunities to grow our business, and we had to really believe in what we were doing and really go for it. And I think a lot of that groundwork was laid by my dad.
Awesome. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, if we could pivot a little bit, so your development projects, tell me, are you buying raw acreage, and starting from there, or are you buying land from someone that has already gone through like the land entitlement process, and then you're building homes? Like, what? Tell us all that you do. What are you doing?
Wait, what are you doing? What are we doing? I don't know.
I ask myself that every day. I'm
Yeah.
like, what am I doing today?
We don't buy land, we buy houses. And we like to say we don't do Home Depot flips. We do
Okay.
like reimagining or
More of a renovation. I feel like
renovation.
flip is like a swear word these days a
But-
little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
But-
Really high end, and we've kind of figured out like high end luxury financing, and we've also found partners to partner with. Our renovations are between like 800 to 1.2 million dollars, almost all completely financed, and then we sell for a profit.
And it's really great. I mean, I know when you hear like developer, it's usually like ground up, but I think it kind of feeds into our whole ethos is like the matchmaker thing and homes have souls. And we like rescue homes is our thought. And I think home means so much to Claire and I. Like she mentioned, our dad is from Ireland, our mom's from England. We've just traveled a lot in our lives and we like value like home. And so to see like all of these like homes just torn down and like something kind of generic going in their place is what made us really sad. Mostly Claire. Claire was like what started it all.
The visionary,
The
I think, as you
visionary.
said.
Yeah, I'm glad she piped in with that. She's the visionary. But yeah, so we just like to like rescue homes and bring them back to life. And then that feeds into the real estate side of things. So it's like we get the listing, we have the open houses, we meet the buyers that appreciate these high design properties. And so it's kind of like feeding both sides of the business. And I mean, it's just like Claire, again, visionary, started this all, and it was a genius way to do it. And it's working.
How many years are you now in it? How many flips, or do you do several projects at once, or did you start with just the one and then eventually evolved into perhaps 2, 3 projects at once during the year?
I started with one, and then there was just that one all the way until that was done. So I think we've been doing it for about 4 years, 3 years.
Yeah, because
4
I
years.
joined halfway.
No, I think 3 years because I was pregnant with Charlie. I always forget that.
Oh,
4 years, 3.5 years. And the first one I just wanted to see come to fruition and see if it was like, if I was going to make any money on it.
yeah, betting on yourself. I think
just
it was
had
like a
bet on myself.
risk.
It was, I was a risk, but I didn't want to like go too deep with the
Yeah.
risk, So I like took that risk, did that one. That was successful. Found a team that I liked working with. And then I took on like 3 more, to the point where, I mean, we've probably sold at least probably 8 now.
Yeah.
And then we have about 8 in development at the same time right now.
Yeah, that's amazing. We actually this past weekend we just visited a friend's project that also specializes here in Phoenix, homes
In
anywhere between $5 and $10 million, and these are 1.5 to $2.5 million flips in the luxury space here as well. And this high design, when you were saying that you try to find and bring soul back into a house, this is exactly what what he's doing. So we could totally feel you there, because we have actually walked a space just recently where
I think it was Saturday.
where the house used to be southwestern, and now it's this beautiful modern contemporary home. And they brought it down to the studs, and it was just a complete gutting, and it is amazing. The former owner was there actually, and she was like, oh my gosh, she couldn't believe what they had done with her property. And she loved it. Because sometimes I'm thinking a prior owner might feel a little bit of nostalgia for what they had, but no, she absolutely loved it. And she's like, my God, what they've done with it is just fantastic. Anyways, where in LA County do you specialize? And where do you see opportunity, for growth?
It's a good question. So we're based on the west side of LA.
Okay.
So I live in Santa Monica. She's in Brentwood. We work in Santa Monica. Our office here is in Santa Monica. But the west side of LA doesn't always necessarily make sense for the numbers flipping game.
Because the land is really valuable.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will buy a house to tear it down, as opposed to
that's what
prices per foot are so high. So it's hard to find good opportunities on the west side.
We're always looking for them, but they just are really hard to find, and you're battling developers with a lot of cash that are just, they want to win it. So that's because of that, we've kind of spread far and wide. So we do have some projects going in like Los Feliz, even parts of like Beverly Hills and like the Hollywood Hills. Like I think the Hollywood Hills, if you don't live in LA, it sounds very like prestigious, but there's so many different areas of the Hollywood Hills, and like you can still find a good deal up there. And a lot of them are cool, like a mid-century or a Spanish or like something architecturally interesting. And that's kind of what we seek out, is something with some intrigue, so that the designers can come in and bring it back to life. So all of that to say, we're all over LA, but we love the West.
And what about the lead gen? Like, where are you sourcing the deals from? Is it mainly from the MLS, or are you developing relationships with the owners? Like, for example, this gentleman that we just told you about, he's actually a hairdresser, and he basically just does the hair of all the beautiful and gorgeous and wealthy here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And that's how he's developed relationships with prior owners, and they've bought from them, and then they flip their home, and so on and so forth. But how do you guys source your deals?
So a lot of it is through the MLS. We also have become known for this. So a lot of trends as well. Agents will call us if they have something that's coming on the market that they know that we would want. And then we also are working on a program specifically geared towards seniors that are looking to downsize, that would like be interested in sharing in the profit by holding the property and doing seller financing. Because I think that a lot of people own these houses outright and their tax base is so low that there's an opportunity there to partner, maybe do a little bit of a profit share. So that's something we're working on. That's kind of one of my goals for the next year, is to flesh that out a little bit. Yeah.
And I think for you ladies, or us ladies, it comes, I think, very handy that we are in it for the relationship building, and that relationship building lends itself for a lot of these opportunities with seller financing. 100%. I can totally see this actually being an amazing opportunity. I see your vision.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that's something too, like as I'm like just giving away all my thoughts and visions here, but I think that's something too, like if that model if we can really prove that model, we can then like syndicate that model and then have that in other markets. You asked about growth. I mean, we'd love to be like in Santa Barbara, Palm Springs, San Diego. Like we'd love to branch out more. Right now, obviously our focus is LA, but I also have little kids, so it's what makes sense right now. But eventually, like we want to take this and make it bigger.
Yeah. And to your point about like previous owners, like coming back and seeing a house, like we see that all the time. A lot of our like flips that we do, the previous owner will come back and be like, oh my God, I wish I could have, this is exactly what the house needed. This is what I always dreamt I could do. So I think it would be really special to like partner with them, because sometimes, finances or just like their age, like
they're not.
Exactly. The owner that we just talked to on Saturday, she was in her 80s. She was telling me, her husband was there, but she's like, he's handicapped now in a wheelchair, and this was just too much house for us, and I don't regret the decision. I love what they've done with it. It was the right move for the season of life that I'm in right now. So and she was so happy, but I'm sure that she would have been open to a situation like this with seller financing. So I can totally see where you're going there. I think there's money there.
I know, and it's kind of like sweet too. We like money and like being nice at the same time.
Absolutely. You're creating, it's a win-win for both the seller, for you, and for whoever is going to end up with the property at the end. So it's a triple win in my world.
Yes.
For sure. What are the typical price points?
There's a mansion tax in LA that taxes properties over 5.5 now. 5.5 or
It's like on a rate 5.3.
5.3.
Yeah.
And then over 10. So we kind of, that also, it's a big percentage. It's like 4% over 5 and 5.5% over 10.
And it's 4% of the whole price.
It's not
just
the profit.
Yeah,
it's the whole price. So we have to be really careful. If we're shooting for something around 5, we kind of need to make sure our spend keeps the margin so that if we sell it under 5 is okay, or we go way over 5. So kind of our model is buy for 3, sell for 5. But then there's also models where we'll buy for between 4 and 5 and try and sell around 8. And then we have one now that we bought for 7 that we're going to try and sell for 20.
But that's one of those projects it keeps getting bigger and longer. And it's like
An airier.
Yeah, like we've got it. Now we've got to sell for 50.
I know. We're like, let's hope,
whoever buys this house better appreciate how much work has gone into it.
Causing like family problems. It's like, it's a big one, but it'll be exciting when it's done.
Now, I know that storytelling, is a big part of the sales process for you guys. I know Sophia is a complete art lover. So perhaps you could tell us a little bit about, I mean, you guys talk about museum level art and photography in the spaces that you're renovating and creating. What does that mean in terms of price points that you're able to achieve because of this approach of just because I'm assuming you're selling completely furnished, right?
No.
Well,
Always one of our most recent ones, we
They did buy all the
did buy
furniture.
most of the furniture.
Yeah.
We mostly focus on like staging and um even collaborating with like certain art vendors, and maybe like we had one listing where one of the designers, her like best friend was an artist, so she painted a few paintings just for that house. Are now here in our office, so that the owner didn't want them, but it was just like cool. It's not what you see in every single house. I mean, we're trying to like be a little bit different, and our goal is every listing to look like it belongs in Architectural Digest or, any of those like design publications. Um, and I think that's, staging, bringing in live plants all the way down to the like we have a few different photographers we work with, and we always like once we see it done, that's when we choose which photographer to have for each house. So it's all very like curated every step of the way and very like intentional. Um,
There's also a company here called Creative Art Partners that does uh, place art. I mean, all the stagers have art, but they place like actual like pieces in houses that we've worked with. That it's very really beautiful stuff, and they make it really bespoke.
telling a story and a completely different feeling that perhaps gets you a higher price point than you would otherwise. Absolutely.
What was that company again?
Creative art. So what you say?
Creative Art Partners.
Creative
Okay.
art partners. Yeah. Um. Yeah. And any other questions that you had?
Um. mm, you,
Okay, yeah, because I wanted to ask a little bit about the actual, because this can be messy, dirty work. Like, and I know you might guys mentioned, you're both visionaries. But one of you is head of sales, so you're mainly talking and negotiating with sellers or with buyers because it's the same skill set. But then who or what did you do to assemble a team that is actually overseeing the renovation project, that is making sure that you're on time, that you're on schedule, on budget, like give us a little bit of an idea about like basically the behind the scenes of your operation.
Yeah, so the kind of the model is that when we buy these houses, when we sell them, Sam's head of sales in that like she kind of manages that storytelling. She manages the clients that we pick up from those houses. But in terms of like the actual development projects, I oversee those. And I manage them by working with partners that are designers, and they do the construction management because that is something that I'd rather not do. So we have like LLCs that we form, and then we just kind of do monthly check-ins, and
Yeah.
I oversee things from a much higher level point of view that like I'm
no,
not there's no like hammering nails on my end.
Yeah, totally understand. I mean, we own an Airbnb up in Sedona, and we hired a friend architect, and basically she hired the crew. She went from it was a complete gut job as well. It was the ugly duckling in the neighborhood, and then now it's like it's
not-
constantly being booked. We wanted to buy it so that we could go up to Sedona and spend some time, but
can't even get into
we
it.
can't get into it. So and
Oh my
it's
God.
Amazing.
yeah, and she
a
basically
good
took care
problem
of
to have.
everything from like the last light bulb to like completely stocking the kitchen. It's probably a kitchen that is better stocked than our own here at home. And yeah, it's more higher level decisions that are being made, and somebody else is really taking care of the nitty gritty, which is a way to judge.
She's both the architect and interior.
And this is her little side gig because she does a lot of interior design for Toyota, for all their dealerships across the world.
Wow.
So yeah, these are her little like side projects that she does.
I love that. I always say that Claire's probably like the best investor partner ever because she's just kind of like, yeah, looks good. Like she, like she like is she very much trusts the designers to like do their part.
Yeah.
Like
But
we,
I found really good people. That means that you trust.
Are trustworthy.
Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
also trust us to sell the property.
Yeah.
So like that's important to me. It has like we work with them on floor plan and then also thinking about who the buyer is. Like that's kind of where we bring value to the partnership at the beginning. And then at the end, we're really good at selling. Um, and I think it's really important to work with people that like the trust goes both ways. Like they're not stepping on my toes in the selling process, and I'm not stepping on their toes in the design process.
Tell us a little bit now about this selling process, because yes,
Yeah.
you can find a great deal and you can do a beautiful job, like you said,
But there's a specific type of buyer, especially for the higher priced properties. The pool gets narrower and narrower as the price point goes up.
so what are some of the key things that you guys are doing? Some gems that you could share with us.
it's a good question. I think we're lucky to live in LA where that buyer pool is maybe a little bigger than most other places. Um, you know, I think we have a really good networking with fellow agents is really important to us, and we have a really good network in LA, and we know a lot of agents with the buyer that we kind of have in mind. So we do a lot of like off market like discussions with other agents, and we're always willing to sell something off market even before it's done. Although we have learned that once it's like perfect and tied up in a bow and on the market, it usually sells for a higher number and flies. Um, but I would say like agent relationships to us mean a lot, and that's kind of the best way to like find the person you're looking for. But it's LA. I mean, there's business managers that manage celebrities and random millionaires and billionaires and whatever. So tapping into all those like different markets is our thing, but also, like I said, putting it on the market it's public. Anyone can see it.
I think also to your point about your friend in Scottsdale, like buyers in this market where it's a little slower, they're really looking for high design. They're looking at finishes, they're looking at craftsmanship. They want to feel an emotion when they walk into a house. And that's really what we give them. Like we really our houses are really high quality. You can feel it when you walk around, and it evokes an emotion that makes people feel excited about the possibility of living there.
Yeah, and that's like what you're hearing, what you're smelling, what you're seeing. Like we always have a specific candle. We always have a playlist for every single house. Like we're touching all senses as soon as you walk in the door. So
It's a complete
'cause I think
sensory
home is
experience.
like, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we always like to wrap up, our episodes and ask every single one of our guests,
Oh, yeah.
what does wealth mean to you? Because the name of the podcast is Becoming Wealthy.
Love it.
And you ladies, have graciously shared, a strategy that you have found that creates triple wins, that is, creating impact, is being of service to sellers, to buyers. You're making money in the process. There's nothing wrong with that. But just in general, what does wealth mean to both of you? And perhaps we could do like separately, like maybe Sam and then Claire can tell us.
You go first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Like Claire's always so good at these kind of questions. I was gonna like piggyback off of her. I think wealth to me, I mean, besides like the obvious and like feeling comfortable, like making enough money to feel like comfortable and I can kind of like relax and like enjoy life a little bit. I think what we're doing also feels like wealthy in a way to me because again, we're creating these like human connections and
Yeah.
I like seeing a buyer happy to be in a house, like, I guess it's not wealth, but it kind of evokes that, like, same emotion. Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it's kind of like exactly what we're doing, how we tap into yes, it is successful financially, but it's also I feel like we're doing better work, not to toot our own horns, than most real estate agents because I feel like there's a matchmaking element to it, and that, like, feels good to me as, like, a person.
Yeah, absolutely. There's meaning behind it, and it purposeful.
And
Yeah, and then intentionally. Yeah.
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 I recently, the beginning of the year, I lost my house in the LA fires,
Oh my God.
and wealth, like, really, I think, a lot of people in the area where I lived were wealthy, and I think it was a time where wealth was redefined for an entire community of people, because what it meant was, like, we didn't have houses, we didn't have our cars, whatever. But the thing that I think hurt everyone the most was the sense of community that was lost. And, like, the fact that, like, our grocery stores were gone, and where our kids played sports were gone, and the parks and everything. So I think coming away from that, for me, wealth is really like a strong sense of community, and it's like a healthy family. Because that was like what the thing that I came away from that feeling so much gratitude, but also like having some wealth or like financial security meant that we were able to weather that storm in a way that felt like I could get shelter for my kids, and I could like make sure they got their toys replaced and things like that. Things that feel sort of superficial, but like somebody said to me, toys are grounding, and it sort of changed everything for me. I was like, they are my kid needs a dump truck. Like
Yeah.
he needs this dump truck right now. And I'm gonna replace it for him.
Yeah.
So
Aw.
yeah.
See what I mean?
Thank you so much. Yeah, I can totally see something like that completely changing your perspective and informing it in a completely different way, because all of a sudden, you guys are in the business of not just selling houses, but really, um, you know, uh, selling homes, and not just any home, but beautiful spaces. And then all of a sudden seeing yourself without your own home, I can see how that was like,
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
It really changed
brings a
a lot.
different dimension to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we should. So thank you for sharing that. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Ladies,
always love asking that question, or we love asking that question, because we have a definition for ourselves, but when we bring on guests, we get to sure, it falls in some of the categories that we define wealth as, but hearing the nuances always
It's-
makes me happy.
yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
excites me.
Yeah, one of the reasons why we started this podcast, I had a health scare, and I'm like, Sophia, she was in ninth grade, beginning high school, and I'm like, you know, time is a precious thing, and I think that we need to spend more time together, and this is how kind of like this whole thing started. And I'm like, and you cannot cultivate financial wealth in real estate, relationships, faith, any other wealth that you can think of, but you don't have health to, at the core to cultivate these others. So I can totally see where this is coming from, so each of us coming from a different perspective, but yeah, a much more holistic approach to wealth. So thank you for sharing that. Now, if anyone was interested in learning more about what you ladies are doing, getting in contact with you guys there in the LA area, where can people get a hold of you?
I'm pretty proud of our Instagram, so they can check out our Instagram. It's O'Connor Estates, pretty much on everything. So o'connorestates.com is our website.
At O'Connor Estates for Instagram.
At O'Connor
And
Estates.
if you DM us, it's Sam, not me.
Yeah.
Claire doesn't have the password.
I don't even know. I don't know how you're talking to me, and I love it.
So many people walk up to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, we were DMing about this," and I was like, "That wasn't me.
It was me.
It was Sam."
But yeah, thank you guys so much. It was like a real joy to talk to you, and I love what you're doing. I think we have an all women team we're all a bunch of daughters in our family, so we love the like girl power approach too.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. Thank you so much, ladies, and for everyone listening. Thank you for being with us on another episode of Becoming Wealthy. Looking forward to tuning in and coming into your mind, your space, your world on the next episode of the show. Thank you so much, ladies.
thank you.